Pittsburgh Steelers seem to have had a great rookie mini camp with several positive things coming out of it. Also, they signed another defensive back to a 1-year deal after a tryout. And there's just lots going on with your Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's dive in here on a Monday to the Steelers news of the day here and what has transpired over the weekend and how things are really rolling for this Pittsburgh Steelers rookie class here in 2024. And there's a lot of positives to take out of it so far. You look at how this coaching staff already is really making a great impression, especially on young rookie wide receiver Roman Wilson, who he said, hey, this feels like family already. This feels comfortable for me. I'm having fun. I'm out here working. I'm learning. The coaches really are coaching us hard, giving high praise to Coach Z, the wide receivers coach, Coach Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, head man Mike Tomlin. You hear Roman Wilson really talk about how thrilled he is with the environment, that he feels like he is at home, like he is super comfortable already. And he says, hey, these guys are coaching us hard, but yet it still feels like family and I'm learning. And you hear him talk about how he was playing a little bit high and that he's really emphasizing on that, trying to correct that issue, trying to get to play a little bit lower, working with Coach Z in that wide receiver room. You look at how he is playing inside and outside, trying to make sure that his routes are really crisp, really trying to expand his route tree to be able to contribute here in 2024. And you look at Roman Wilson and some of the tape out there that you've seen, how they are working through the footwork, really trying to get and emphasize that quick feet, that quick first step for the wide receiver to really come off the line fast. And that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers are really looking at with Roman Wilson, a quick, shifty guy, and they need that asset along that wide receiver room this season here in 2024, and they're not going to be able to afford to really wait considering the way that this room is set up right now. So it kind of gives you as a fan high hopes for Roman Wilson to be able to step up here in 2024, to be able to play some significant snaps, fingers crossed at least. We hope that is the case. But you look at other rookies throughout here. Another big story I find throughout this whole rookie camp was the way that you see these three young studs really meshing and really becoming a cohesive group together. And it's not just on the field, it's off the field, riding to work together, getting involved with each other, really just trying to be really tight with each other. And you look at Zach Frazier, Troy Fautanu, Mason McCormick, the South Dakota Jackrabbit, whom I have very high hopes for at the guard position to eventually one day be able to be a starter with Troy, with Broderick Jones, with Zach Frazier, with Isaac Seumalo. You look at this young core group, and don't forget young guys like Spencer Anderson, guys that you had that are veterans also like Nate Herbig, James Daniels. There's so many things to be really excited for, but that rookie class that came in, it should really give you some high hopes to have one of the better offensive lines and a real threat down the road in the trenches. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, their significant investment here in the last couple years for the offensive line is going to start paying off, and you're going to start to see the dividends of that investment. The return on that investment will be coming really soon for this offensive line unit. I really think that they are going to take monster leaps, especially as you start to get snaps for these young guys and when they really start to gel and they start to think and know what each other is going to do, know the assignments, and really be able to play free and fast. And I think you're really going to start to see that, especially with a lot of high quality draft picks along that offensive front. I think the trenches are going to become one of the strengths of the Pittsburgh Steelers as opposed to a weakness that I feel like they've had for a couple years here. And they've never been able to get that magic back since the days of Pouncey, Foster, Villanueva, DeCastro. They haven't been able to fill those big gaps since then, in my eyes. I don't feel like they've had a quality unit since that time. But you look at the Steelers and you hear the way they are talking. These rookies are talking coming out of camp, and it's all about family. It's all about fun. They feel like they're being pushed and they're really working. They feel like they're going to be able to really make some great strides, especially when you start going to work with the veteran guys. You look at the way these offensive linemen speak and their media availability, and they show nothing but respect for the veterans in place ahead of them. They are there to work. They don't care what their position is. They are just there to contribute to be productive Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you're the Steelers and if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, that's a lot to be excited for in my eyes. I feel like that they have filled this building up with a lot of guys that they have high character, or at least think they have high character. It seems that they have high character, and I think that that is going to pay off also. It isn't just about the athleticism of these guys. It isn't just about what they can do on the football field. It's about what they can do off the football field in terms of being good people. And I think the Steelers have really strived to do that and bring those types of guys in. Also, guys, when you look at these camps and you look at the way that you can come in for a tryout, come in during rookie camp and be able to try out for the team, even if you're a veteran, but it's a tryout for these other veteran guys that to get a possible chance. And you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers signing a guy in the defensive backfield, a guy that has had some injury trouble here the last couple years, but spent his first 4 seasons in a Baltimore Ravens uniform, drafted in the 4th round by the Baltimore Ravens. Defensive back, a guy that has 51 career games, 27 starts, 114 tackles, 99 of those solo, 3 interceptions throughout his career, 23 pass defenses. So you look at this guy and he is able to produce, and his name is Anthony Everett, a guy in 2022 went to the Las Vegas Raiders, spent a year there, had some injury issues, then moved around last year, spent some time with the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers, but again, injury-filled last couple seasons. But you hear Anthony Everett now talking, and he's talking about how he does feel a lot healthier now. He feels like he is actually fully healthy. So that is a good sign. That is big for the Steelers also, to get a veteran in a building that has proven that he can play in the NFL. And I think Anthony Everett definitely could be a contributor, another solid depth piece, a guy that could be versatile in the back end of the defense, and really add some veteran presence there and be a guy that adds some quality depth. And you look at him, though, over these last 2 seasons, and you know the injuries are there. That is always a concern. But the Pittsburgh Steelers signed this guy to a 1-year deal after the tryout. So he must be fully healthy now. He must be, really getting the attention of the coaches, because you just don't come in and get picked up, get a deal signed. These tryouts, these guys, the coaches have to see something quality in you. They have to see some sort of potential. This isn't just a gimme contract just to fill out the summer roster, the OTAs and mini camp rosters, the training camp rosters. I don't think that this move was just designed for that. I think that they actually have a little bit of hope in Anthony Everett to be able to do something in 2024 and possibly be a contributor. So I definitely like that move, and I'm never opposed to adding depth in the defensive backfield or middle linebacker, anywhere in the defense. Just after last season, you kind of learn your lesson on how things went down with the Steelers and the injuries and the way they were just picking people up off of their couch. And you don't want to see that again. You want to see as much depth as possible. I even like guys that from last year that I have high hopes for even this year, like a Trenton Thompson, for instance. I really think that he could be a significant force inside of the Steelers secondary. I think that more playing time, more time around this team in the system, I think that Trenton Thompson could become better and better and better. And I like the way he is physical. I like the way he can go after the football. I really like Trenton Thompson. I just think he's a big body dude back there, can really hit people, isn't afraid to be physical, and I really like that atmosphere in that defensive secondary, that ability to be physical, that ability to be tough and hard-nosed football players. I really, really love that. But again, guys, let's wrap it up here on a Monday. It's been a cool weekend. We got to see some Steeler football finally, and yeah, it's in shorts and helmets or whatnot. But it's an exciting time, man. Things are starting to move along, and things are starting to take shape, and that's really cool for the Pittsburgh Steelers and us as fans. As now we are getting some cool things to look out for. Also, there's some still like the Najee Harris stuff still going on. They're not sick of it, blah blah blah, going back and forth until I see an extension signed. You know, it is what it is. We'll talk about that later on the live show tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go over that again, and we'll get that all sorted out later on this evening. But again, guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers making signings. The rookies really starting to feel at home, like it's a family. And it's really positive to hear about Coach Tomlin and Arthur Smith, Coach Z, just those guys really getting the attention of this young group, and the young group really respecting it and being vocal about, hey, I like the way they're teaching us. I like the way this is all building up here. So that's a positive sign, and maybe things are going to be a lot better here in 2024. We'll see. I don't know, but it's just a hope. It is what it is. But anyway, guys, thank you again for joining us here on our Monday edition of the show here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm Jason. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share everything with all your friends. Make sure you go over to our Facebook page and like and follow us there. Make sure you get us on Twitter. We started an Instagram. I do have a TikTok, but I'm not sure. I don't really use it yet. So we're trying to grow the platform as a whole here. So make sure you go over to all our other channels, our social medias, and make sure that you like and follow us there, especially on Twitter, X. But I'll always call it Twitter. But anyway, go over to X and start getting our follows up on there if you have a X account. And yeah, you can message me on there, all that kind of stuff. Also, you can message us at yahoo.com, MikeDropSports at yahoo.com. So don't forget about that. You can email us. We want to do a mailbag, but we still got to get that going off, get that off the ground here. So until tonight, guys, for Steel City Live, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.